Archie, I don't want to do the armorer. There's no pop culture references I can refer to, and you know that's my whole bag, baby. There's
Hang on, hang
nothing.
on.
There's
Robocop,
nothing.
Batman,
Batman, all right.
Mandalorians, Master
Oh yeah,
Chief, Iron Man.
Boba Fett. Oh wait, no, he's the Mandalorian. All right, all right. So you can name a couple armorers. So why don't you tell me what an armorer is?
All right, so
But do it in the
yes.
style of a Year 6 presentation where you tell me what it means to you.
Webster's defines armorer as Artificer who specializes in
10 out of
armored
10.
modified armor to function almost like a second skin. The armor is enhanced to hone the Artificer's magic, unleashing potent attacks, and generate a formidable defense. The Artificer bonds with the armor, becoming one with it, even as they experiment with it and refine its magical capabilities.
That sounds very
That's
cool.
what an armorer means to me.
Yeah. Yeah, almost got it right, but at our age, you're actually meant to go Encyclopedia Britannica
Describes it as.
describes it as an artificer. So first thing you get, tools of the trade.
Mm-hmm.
At level 3, when you take this subclass or this specialization. Oh, sorry, I like that word. When you adopt this specialization. I didn't realize it wasn't called a subclass. That's pretty guys, go armorer or go artificer just for this. Yeah, when you adopt this specialization at the 3rd level, you gain proficiency with heavy armor, also smith tools. If you've already got that tool proficiency, you gain proficiency with one other type of artisan tool of your choice. Very cool.
Very cool.
Very generic.
Your armor spells start also kicking in, and 3rd level you'll be able to get magic missile and thunder wave. At 5th you'll have mirror image and shatter. 9th
cool.
you'll have hypnotic pattern and lightning bolt. At 13th level you gain fire shield and greater invisibility, and at 17th level you finally gain pass wall and wall of force. Now remember, these don't count as the number of spells you have prepared. They are always prepared, so you can always bust one of them out.
Hell yeah. And I love how visual all these are, because come on, let's be real. Mirror image, you start and sort of like
you start stepping away from yourself. Yep.
Hell yeah. Shatter, that's your micro vibrations. Hypnotic pattern, that's a hologram sort of thing you cast. Lightning bolt, come on, Iron Man, too easy. Invisibility, fire shield, like these, you can all imagine them from a TV show of your choice. Except for Batman. Batman doesn't have a fire shield, or he does have greater invisibility though.
Yeah, he's got that one.
Ninja.
Yeah.
I think one of the things you pointed out about this is that it's great spell list, but pass wall does come a bit late, and so does Wall of Force, because most people are casting them a little bit earlier, like 17th level to get pass wall. The one thing I will say is that when you're 17th level and someone casts Prismatic Wall on you and you get trapped, having this in your spell list, because you can guarantee your wizard probably didn't take it because they didn't know how important it was, this will get you through one of the barriers of Prismatic Wall. So having it on hand, able to cast without having taken it, very handy.
All these to be able to use at any point, just handy. You don't have to worry about it. None of them are bad spells.
Oh, they're all great, and they're all very thematic. So I love this class so far. Going on to the Arcane Armor that you also get at 3rd level. Your metallurgical pursuits have you just highlighted it so it covered the text, and I was like, "Stop it, Archie! Get down!" Beginning at 3rd level, your metallurgical pursuits have led you to making an armor, a conduit for your magic. As an action, you can turn a suit of armor you're wearing into an arcane armor, provided that you have the smith tools in hand. Now, I want to point out that it doesn't say it has to be non-magical, so it can be adapted from magical items. I would probably rule this out for artifacts, because you don't want to mess with that kind of magic. But low-level magic items, I can see adding this in to your armor and just including it as part of it. Adopting it to your specialization, you might say. So, you gain the following benefits while wearing this armor. If the armor normally has the strength requirement, the Arcane Armor removes this requirement for you. You can use the Arcane Armor as a spellcasting focus for your Artificer spells. That's good, baby. That's good. Just that bit right there is a Warcaster feat, and you can now use shit with your intelligence modifier, basically. Oh, you don't need a strength requirement. You also have armor attaches to you and cannot be removed against your will, stopping date rape. It also expands to cover your entire body, although it can retract and deploy as a helmet. Deploy the helmet as a bonus action. Oh god, that's cool! I've never read that before. Yeah, so that's very cool. The armor replaces missing limbs and functions identically to the body part it replaces. So once again, this is very cool. You can don or doff the armor as an action. So right there, so much cool thematic stuff you can do. The fact, what is it? To normally put on plate mail, I think it's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
By the book. So doing that in 6 seconds, that's your I'm falling out of the window, pressing your wrist cuff, Iron Man calling his suit. So as you fall, okay, I'll give you 6 seconds is 500 feet of falling, but hey.
Yeah, if
whatever.
you start doing something like that, it's nanobots, it's individual armor that jumps onto you, just magic, and there's a lot of things you can play around with there.
Rule of cool. Allow it. Rule of cool.
And at third level, you've also then got to choose your armor model. So you get to customize your armor and decide which type you're going to go, either Guardian or Infiltrator. The model you choose has different benefits when you wear it. Each model includes a special weapon, and when you attack with that weapon, only when you attack with that weapon can you use your intelligence modifier instead of strength or dex for your attack and damage rolls and bonuses. You can also change the arm model and do that over a short or long rest, provided that you've got the Smith's tools at hand. So if you need to change model types while people are coming up with the battle plan, you can change model types to slip over to the Infiltrator from the Guardian so that you can do a different role for the group. That's great. Gives you more ability. You don't lock you in so much.
Yeah.
I mean, most people are going to look at it and think Guardian. Guardian screams out to me, but I've got to lean more into Infiltrator and think, what else can I do with that? Because with Guardian, you gain Thunder Gauntlets when you choose this type. And each of the armor's gauntlets count as a simple melee weapon while you're holding it and deals 1d8 thunder damage on a hit. A creature hit by the gauntlet also has disadvantage on their attack rolls against targets other than you until the start of your next turn, as the armor magically emits a distracting pulse when the creature attacks someone else, like flashing a little laser in their eyes or something like that. It also has defensive field, which is a bonus action as you can temporarily gain the hit points of your level, replacing any other temporary hit points you have. You lose these temporary hit points when you take the armor off, and as a bonus action, you can do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and regain it all after a long rest. So you get a fair bit with this. You get bonus hit points, which isn't the biggest in the game, but it's definitely like great to be able to create your own. And you also get these thunder gauntlets that are doing thunder damage, so something different rather than just bludgeoning. Just be aware it is only a simple melee weapon, and so it only states that you're not going to be able to use them for an offhand attack because they're not light. Now for the Infiltrator armor, you get to customize the armor to do the following. Instead of the lightning thunder gauntlets, you get a lightning launcher. So it doesn't sound too infiltratory, but you get a gem-like node appears on your armored fists or on your chest. I wonder where they're getting that from. It counts as a simple ranged weapon with 90 feet range or up to 300. It deals 1d6 lightning damage on a hit, and on each of your turns when you hit a creature, you can deal an extra 1d6 lightning damage to a target. So on each of your turns. That's cool. Powered steps, you walk 5 feet, you get 5 foot increase, and dampening field. So this will take away the penalty of using disadvantage with stealth. What you gain is advantage with dexterity stealth checks. So if your normal armor will impose that, this cancels it out, taking it back to a normal roll. These are two very different types of suits, and I think they're great. What do you reckon, Mitch?
Yeah, Archie, love both of them. Thematically great. Thunder Gauntlets, bam, bam. Defensive field. I will say I'm not looking forward to how much I'm going to enjoy when people I play with do the Scanlan short halt and they watch a little bit too much Critical Role. They take the Infiltrator. They walk 5 feet faster. as they have advantage on stealth, and then lightning bolt from their cock gem. I can see it happening. I know it's going to happen. I will laugh when it happens, but you just know it's going to happen repeatedly, and probably by the fourth time, not as funny. At 5th level, we get extra attack. Nobody's going to complain about that.
Yep.
All right, so at 9th level, armor modifications. At 9th level, you get to use your armor infusions to especially modify your arcane armor. That armor now counts as separate items for the purposes of your infuse items feature. Armor, boot, helmet, and the armor's special weapon. Each of those can now bear one of your infusions, and the infusions transfer over if you change your armor model with the armor model feature. In addition, the maximum number of items you can infuse at once increases by 2, but those extras must be part of your arcane armor. Very cool.
Yes and bad. I would have let someone already wear another helm as part of their suits. That doesn't do heaps for me. But what does do that little bit more is your maximum infusions increase by 2 as long as they're part of the suit. That helps.
Yeah, that's huge. So Archie, armor modification at 9th level.
Mm-hmm.
You now get to add 2 more infusions. Which ones are you taking, and which ones are you putting on? So we've obviously got your enhanced defense, enhanced attack, enhanced spell casting. We'll just skip past them because they're +1, and then when you get to 10th level, they'll go +2. So heaps of people will take them just to increase their rate of hitting.
Yeah.
But what are the special ones you're looking at?
The things I would be looking at for putting into a suit, and I'm not going to look specifically which ones because characters are going to change, but the couple ones you're going to immediately be looking for, in my mind, are going to be something along the resistant armor, helm of awareness, wing boots, cloak of protection to make it look like a superhero-y thing, and adding radiant weapon into your blasting type things. Or your melee attacks. They'd be the ones I'd be thinking that go straight into my suit of armor. How about you, Mitch?
I'm going straight into Boots of the Winding Path. Now, this is a low-level item, but I'm a big fan of it, especially with your stealth modifier. If you're doing a campaign where you're running through hallways, being able to run to a T intersection, then run to the right 5 foot, then act like you go, oh no, I'm going the wrong, run back, then bonus action teleport to the way you faked.
Finally, then, you get your class feature, which is going to be a perfected armor. At 15th level, your Arcane Armor gains additional benefits based on its model, as shown below. So, depending on if you've gone Guardian or Infiltrator, for Guardian, when a huge or small creature you can see ends its turn within 30 feet of you, you can use your reaction to magically force the creature to make a saving throw against your spell DC, pulling the creature up to 30 feet towards you in an unoccupied space. If you pull the target into a space within 5 feet of you, you can make a melee attack against them as part of that reaction. You can use this reaction a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and regain all after a long rest. If you took the Infiltrator, any creature that takes lightning damage from your lightning launcher glimmers with magical light until the start of your next turn. The glimmering creature sheds 5 foot radius of light, dim light, and has disadvantage on attack rolls against you as the light jolts it as it attacks you. In addition, the next attack roll has advantage, and if the attack hits, it also does an extra 1d6 damage of lightning upon it. Mitch, perfected armor. Has this made your armor better, or is this not that great?
Guardian is massive. Anything that forces a move on anyone is huge. Pulling someone 30 feet towards you, also great. That could be pulling them off your caster. That could be you're on the other side of a chasm and you're pulling them to their death, or pulling them off a guard tower. Always
pulling flying creatures down to you.
Yeah, the fact it's a reaction.
That's pretty cool.
Is crazy.
All in all, Mitch, what do you like and dislike about the whole class?
I dislike the fact that everyone straight away thinks Iron Man. I like the fact that this is pretty much like Iron Man. like Iron Man did this so well. Like he did throughout the movies, he did every version of this. He did the hardcore, like just a giant metal defender. He like the big bad in Iron Man 1 was, no spoilers, was actually a giant Iron Man sort of Guardian suit that was
So,
built for taking damage and just getting in there with massive gauntlets.
is your enlarged spell?
And
Yeah.
then it got sleeker and sleeker. He did the action to Don and Doff as he jumped out in when he was fighting Loki.
Yep.
What one was that?
Oh,
Avengers?
I can't
Original
remember.
Avengers? So they did this so well.
Mm.
But like this is everything. Like in my mind, if you had two artificers that were both armorers and they wanted to build a giant suit so they could drift and fight kaijus, that's the coolest shit in the world. I kind of want to do that right now. That
Yep.
is like this subclass. I was waiting for artificers for so long. I've tried to lawyer them into Adventure League by proving that in the Dungeon Master Guide there's references to them, and tried to make up my own subclass for artificers, and it was not allowed.
All right.
But yeah, it's great.
I am weary about the Guardians Thunder Gauntlets being simple weapons. I think they could honestly get away with being light and allow the Guardians to make an offhand bonus action attack. I don't think that's going to throw it out too much. I've got a player who I allow to do that in my campaign, and I think it's fine. And also, I don't think gauntlets are going to be big and heavy on someone who needs to be fine and manipulative over things. So I don't have a problem with that. And another thing, though, you would be aware of is you only get your intelligence bonus to the suit weapons. So unless the DM's happy to say that certain things you now include into the suit and build into the suit, that means if you were to pick up a magical +2 axe, that's not your suit, and you're now back to using strength. So be aware, you're going to have to, not necessarily all your attacks are int-based, and you just have to make sure you're keeping that in the back of your mind when you're getting weapons and you're planning out your character. But how are you going to play this? What's your character concept for having one of these? Mitch, I believe you've got one coming up.
Yes, I've actually got one that I'm going to use in both these videos from a standpoint.
Yeah.
So the first one is before the event. So we'll go with that. So this is a gnome artificer. That's basically body is like a chaos submarine sort of thing. Is inside a suit.
Yep.
All plugged in with all your life-sustaining implements in the suit. And basically this is his armorer, and he's just going to town on there. So it's not a... it's basically Iron Man. It's basically Iron Man, where the suit has an AI in it that he does use for communication, all sorts of things, because that's going to lead to my Battlesmith build, and we'll get back to that. But very simple Iron Man build, and yeah, it's one of the things I would say is that this one would be using Guardian, and would be going the sending stones for communication.
Yep.
As an infusion, and of course the Cloak of the Manta Ray, because what looks cooler than an Iron Man with a cloak that can make him swim?
Yeah. I have the concept, much like yourself, of playing a character inside, but imagine playing like a very small character. Like in Men in Black, when the face opens up and you see, I think it's the Aquilin back in the original, or you've got, even in the latest episode of Mandalorian, they put Grogu in IG-88, who's now controlling it. Like, I see a very small character tucked inside a chest, or tucked inside a helmet, and you are controlling, pulling levers, pulling gears, operating things, and you're making this big suit fight. So, yeah, I definitely going to jump on board with that. You're playing like a pixie, a fairy, something small, or tiny even. That'd be my character concept for this. And that'd allow you to then walk around, clamber up and down the thing, making repairs. You fell down and got trapped, and I was trapped inside the pelvis for 20 minutes, and the bard's like, I know your problem. I think that's just a really cool way to play it. How about for player tips? If you were to play one of these as a player, what are the things you need to make sure that you're getting the most out of this subclass?
Player tips would be planning out your infusions, reading through and understanding, because you don't want to miss out on them.
Yeah.
I'd be looking at all sorts of things. Like when you look at it, there's one that's called the Armor of Magical Strength.
Yes.
Now this one I think has really good potential, and I'll actually combine my DM tip. What we spoke about before, I think this Armor of Magical Strength should be used on Artificer armors at all times.
Yep.
And allow it to be used for attacks also. So if you go to use as an armorer, let's say, as you said, the gloves can be used with intelligence.
Yeah.
And if you go to pick up a javelin to throw it, all of a sudden you're using strength.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to use one of your reactions to burn one of the charges from the armor of magical strength, all of a sudden you see the glove and the arm, and you see a targeting system. And yeah, let it do an extra like int mod damage on top of it, sort of thing. Like I like as a DM and a player, working something out with the armor of magical strength. Fizz, come talk to me.
Yep.
100%. This is one of my must-haves for an armorer, just because this is where the programming kicks in and takes over.
Okay. The magical programming.
The magical programming, yeah. Like
the sentience of the suit.
The enchantment takes over.
Yeah. For me, it's talk about how creative you can be. This talk to the DM about other things you can also make. Like, I mean, they've given you a list there, and some DMs is going to go, no, mate, just work off the list. But if you've got a DM who's willing to come to the party, have a look at the other things you can bring. Shrink rays, transferring brains, shadow control guns, anything you've seen in any Futurama, any silly, mad scientist-like thing. Same with all the Artificer classes. These are the ones to play it with and to build it into your suit. A vortex manipulator, a portaling piece, like anything. Like, wouldn't it be so cool if we did this? Like, yes, it would be. That's exactly what you should be trying to. Just make sure you're pitching it with balance. And as you said, leading into DM tips, DMs be considerate on taking a chance and letting artificers create these wonderful magical items. But if you're concerned, maybe start with it's a single-use item. It's going to take a lot of stuff to build and put into it in time, and he's only going to make one, and he gets to use it once, and then you can evaluate. Did that break the game? Did it enhance and make it more fun? Can maybe just talk to the player, like, yes, you could give everyone one of these, but that will break the game. So can we just have it that only you use these items, just because I don't want to muck things up.
Yeah, the way I've seen this handled in one campaign that was very smart was when it's a risky item, give it a break roll. So every time they use the item, they have to pass an intelligent construction test of 15, like DC 15.
Yeah.
And that's like your proficiency mod plus your int plus your roll. And if it rolls under that, it breaks. And that's it. So then they'd have to use another infusion to build it back again or make some improvements. And you can actually talk to them out of game. And that gives you a chance to communicate and say, the reason this failed is because it's way too OP and we took a chance and you killed 50,000 people with one attack. Let's dial that down to 30,000.
Yeah. Another one for DMs is that these guys, all artificers, and these guys especially, get more infusion items. So they're going to be after more items to then put in, because that's what that whole ability did, just to make them put more infusions in. If you're not giving out things that people can infuse to, then this class isn't getting what it kind of needs. It needs to have, like, no more than one of its attunement slots not filled. Like, it needs to have nearly all of its attunement slots filled. If you're not doing that, you're underpowering what this class is meant to be able to do. And if it feels powerful, that's what this class is meant to do. The Artificer doesn't have a lot of powerful classes, but this could be one if you let them have the magic items that they want.
Yeah, it's 100% spot on. And as you're just saying there, communication's key. If you don't want them to experiment them, if you don't want them to experiment, you don't want them to play out on the edge and come up with crazy ideas, don't let them be an artificer, because it doesn't sound like you want them to actually do that.
Yeah, if the wizard can do it with magic, why can't these guys do it by combining magic and tech and make it its own thing?
Yeah.
All right, thanks for joining us here at this chat. We've got one more artificer artificer to run through. Will you join me in running through that shortly?
No, go fuck yourself.
All right, well, I'll find someone else. I'm sure I can find someone else out there.
Good. Yeah, no, I'll be there. Let's do it. Let's do it. Ooh, ooh.
Good to have you, Mitch. Let's get some prepping for the next one. And if you like this content, like, subscribe, do that sort of thing. And there's heaps of other reviews, adventure reviews, subclass reviews, and all sorts of reviews all over this channel. Jump on and take a look. Catch you next time.
Like, subscribe, show us your boobs.
See ya.